I'm going to start off with the Encanto, Disney Encanto. I'll explain a bit why. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned this last week, I went to musicals, a lunchtime sampler session of work in progress around the format of the musical. That's to say, it's like documentary theatre, but with songs. So Mary and the Matrons, I think, was maybe one of the early examples. I'll say a bit more about that later on as well. But the choir was there as well, and We Don't Talk About Bruno was one of the songs they sang. And I've been experimenting with shorts on the basis that they get a lot more views on YouTube now than the other videos that I do. And it turns out We Don't Talk About Bruno was the ones that got lots of views. So I'm going to follow on with this. Phonic is a music channel. So the idea of how to promote theatre, song might be the way, and I'll explain a bit more. I'll play a track and ramble on a bit afterwards.
Every generation, so full of music, a rhythm of its own design. This is my family, a perfect constellation. So many stars and everybody gets to shine. Whoa, let's be clear up while I runs this show. Whoa, she let us hear so many years ago. Whoa, and every year our family blessings grow. There's just a lot you simply got to know. So, welcome to the family Madrigal, the home of the family Madrigal. We're on our way, where all the people are fantastical and magical. I'm part of the family Madrigal. Alright, relax.
It is physically impossible to relax. Everything. What are your powers? Just tell us what everyone can do.
And that's why coffee's for grown-ups. My tia Peppa, her mood affects the weather. When she's unhappy, well, the temperature gets weird. My Theo Bruno,
we don't talk about Bruno.
They say he saw the future. One day he disappeared. Oh, and that's why Mom Julieta, here's her deal. Whoa, the truth is she can heal you with a meal. Whoa, her recipes are remedies for real. If you're impressed, imagine how I feel, Mom. Welcome to the family Madrigal, the home of the family Madrigal. Hey, coming through! I know it sounds a bit fantastical and magical, but I'm part of the family Madrigal. You guys fell in love with family Madrigal, and now they're part of your family Madrigal. See, Theo Felix married Peppa, and my dad married Julieta. That's how Abuela became an Abuela Madrigal. Let's go, let's go.
We swear to always help those around us and earn the miracle that somehow found us. The town keeps growing, the world keeps turning, but work and dedication will keep the miracle burning, and each new generation must keep the miracle burning.
Wait, who's a sister and who's a cousin? There's so many people.
How do you keep them all straight? Okay. So many kids in our house, so let's turn the sound up. You know why? I think it's time for a grandkid roundup. Grandkid roundup. Cousin Dolores can hear a pin drop. Camilo shapeshifts. Antonio gets his gift today. My older sisters, Isabella and Luisa. One strong, one graceful, perfect in every way. Grows a flower, the town goes wild. She's a perfect golden child. And Luisa's super strong, the beauty and the brawn, do no wrong. That's life in the family Madrigal. Now you know the family Madrigal, where all the people are fantastical and magical. That's who we are in the family Madrigal. Adios. Ooh.
But what's your gift?
Well, I gotta go the life of a Madrigal, but now you all know the family Madrigal. I never meant this to get autobiographical, so just to review the family Madrigal. Let's go! It starts with abuela and then tia Pepa, she handles the weather. My mom Julieta can make you feel better with just one arepa. My dad Agustin, well, he's accident prone but he means well. Hey, you said you wanna know what everyone does. I got sisters and cousins and my primo Camilo won't stop until he makes you smile today. My cousin Dolores can hear this whole chorus a mile away. Look, it's Sister Mariana, hey, you can marry my sister if you wanna, between you and me. She's kind of a prima donna, you always said too much and thank you, but I really gotta go. My family's amazing, and I'm in my family, so well.
So now we don't talk about Bruno Part 1. It's in two parts because the copyright is interesting. As a short, up to a minute, the copyright's okay, but the original one that I tried to upload had the complete song in it, and that's not okay. So that's why it's in Part 1 and Part 2. So here is Part 1.
We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno. But it was my wedding day. We were getting ready and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Bruno walks in with a mischievous grin. You turned this story over mine. Bruno said it looks like rain. In doing so, he floods my brain. Married in a hurricane. We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about.
Don't be upset or mad at all. Don't feel regret or sad at all. Hey, I'm still a part of the family Madrigal, and I'm fine, I am totally fine. I will stand on the side as you shine. I'm not fine, I'm not fine. I can't move the mountains, I can't make flowers bloom, I can't take another night up in my room waiting on a miracle. I can't heal what's broken, can't control the morning rain or a hurricane, can't keep down the unspoken invisible pain. Always waiting on a miracle, a miracle. Always walking alone, always wanting for more. Like I'm still at that door, longing to shine like all of you shine. All I need is a change. All I need is a chance. All I know is I can't stay on the side. Open your eyes, open your eyes, open your eyes. I would move the mountains, make new trees and flowers grow. Someone please let me know, where do I go? I am waiting on a miracle, a miracle. I would heal what's broken, show this family something new. Who I am inside, so what can I do? I'm sick of waiting on a miracle, so here I go. I am ready, come on, I'm ready. I'm patient and steadfast and steady. Bless me now as you blessed us all those years ago when you gave us a miracle. Am I too late for a miracle?
That's from the Disney CD, and this is Part 2 from the choir. You can find this Part 1 and Part 2 as shorts on YouTube. musicals is the hashtag.
It's heavy with a gift so humbling. Always have to bother when the family fumbling. Grappling with prophecies you couldn't understand. Can you understand? 7-foot frame wraps along his back. When he calls your name, it all fades to black. Yeah, he saves your dreams and feasts on your screen. We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno. He told me my sister died the next day dead. He told me I'd grow a gut, just like he said. He said that all my hair would disappear. Now look at my hair. Your fate is sealed, but your prophecy is red. There you go.
This is Phonic FM.
Just Water for Your Soul. Going back to musicals and documental theatre, this track is Nothing Out of Reach, which I think is a new song. I don't remember it from Mary and the Matrons, which was the production in the Bonfield last year. You have about maybe a little bit long. Not quite sure when that was, but the show is now called Unreachable, and this is one of the songs from that. And I think the other songs that were part of Mary and the Matrons will also be part of this. But I'm trying to get some more details later on. But you'll find this as well. I've put musicals in as a hashtag, and so you'll find several shorts, and I'll upload some more over the next few weeks, because I do think the musicals idea is very, very strong. There were a lot of people there, a lot of different things going on, but they have all got this idea of mixing up a documental format with a musical, and it could well, that was the second lunchtime sampler occasion, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be other ones later on. So this is Nothing Out of Reach.
Now we're adulting, yes, we're adulting. Now we're adulting, yes, we're adulting. Gonna do everything once. I'm adulting, gonna do everything once. I'm adulting.
Last day of school, Millie. How do you feel? It's hard to say how I feel, Mum. But it's easy to sing how you feel.
Yeah, we're feeling alive. The class for 25, spreading joy from every pore. These days with our friends would never end. Now we're smashing down every door. Yeah, we're outside. Listen, Lily, let's talk about your placement.
I don't want to work in a charity shop there.
I know the phone cafe has a few spaces left.
I don't do rooms, Jeff.
I wanna be an astronaut. Oh, maybe you know how much I miss you.
Well, that's okay, Liz. We can WhatsApp.
Oh, maybe you know I can't do that.
Why?
I wanna be an astronaut. We're 19, and we're hot off the blocks. Had our transport training, we can sort our own socks. Now they ain't out of reach, cause they let us off the leash. And we're outside.
Mum, I will still see my mates with Herman's. I've done the work, love, if there's no one to take you. But that's not fair.
But if it's not like they say, when we go our separate ways and start adulting.
This is Phonic FM.
This is the drama show on Phonic FM. You're listening to a collection of bits and pieces from previously. Some of it last week, some of it's from video you can also find online on YouTube. And meanwhile, Will789GB on Twitter will be at the Tech Exeter breakfast. And I should be back before 9:30 with an update. Maybe some of the update will relate to previously.
12 years ago.
I'd like you to say a bit more about is the High Street and what you see as the role of the High Street in the city.
Well, anecdotally, I remember moving to Exeter, which is, I think, a city of about 120,000, and on the second day of my living in Exeter, which was also my arrival in the UK about 10 years ago, I was walking up the high street and I was already recognizing faces that I'd seen the day before, which, like, in a city of comparable size, Esslingen near Stuttgart, 90,000 people, I spend a lot of time there, that would be virtually unthinkable that you would encounter. It would have to be a real chance encounter that you see the same person twice in 2 days, because the layout of the city is different. There are squares and more concentric design, whereas on the high street you have virtually all the traffic funneled through a linear, sort of on a linear axis, isn't it? And so I found that quite striking. I thought, blimey, it's not a huge city, Exeter, but it's sizable, and I kind of recognized 2, 3, 4 faces on the second day I'm coming. I've seen this person, I've seen that person, and they were not buskers or people who would play their thing every day. They were just people, I just recognized the faces because I'm good with faces anyway. So.
Right. Just to explain something that we haven't mentioned before, that of the 3 images, one is actually from Sidwell Street and one is on the corner of 4th Street.
Yeah.
So your idea of the high street is quite a long, extended high street. As
Yeah.
Some people would.
Yeah. One could. I think describe Sidwell and 4th Street as down-market versions of High Street, but essentially they're on the same.
It's the same line.
It's the same trajectory. It's the same axis. In terms of urban design, it's one single line, and it's a lineup of shops, and it's a business mile, and it's one. It's really. I mean, I see this as one thing, so I didn't have a problem including Sidwell Street and the actual core of High Street, which is big corporate chains, stores and bank, and then some small independent retailers at the bottom. It's quite a nice portraiture of what the city is like at the moment. Yes, they're not the high street technically, but really I think they are the high street. The high street to me starts at the Odeon roundabout and it ends down at the bottom, at the bottom of 4th Street. So I've included these parts of it.
So you don't think the city walls or the medieval model, which must be there somewhere, that doesn't seem strong to you?
Well, let's put it that way. The concept of the high street was new to me when I moved to this country. In the German cities that I know, there is also business miles, which is long streets with plenty of shops lined up alongst them, pedestrianised areas, etc. But they tend to be less central to the layout of the city. They're not like the key feature in the same way that you would find it in the UK. And central is also an interesting word here, because I would argue that due to its linearity, the high street itself has no centre. In Exeter, there's the Cathedral Green, which is a centre, obviously. One of several centres. There's a bit of a centre in Princessay, but the high street itself kind of, the linearity of it refuses a centre, and this of course has aesthetic and also cultural implications that I find really fascinating, and that's me, the artist, now being interested in that as a form, and then there's also this whole thing about the nature of global capital, so to speak, the rise of corporate chain stores, they shape the aesthetics. The corporate branding will be the same, the logos are the same everywhere, of one and the same, the McDonald's logo will be the same everywhere basically. So that corporate branding that had sort of become omnipresent, and they are very much similar across the world now, and of course again that's up to us how we value this.
So thinking about retail, could you describe how the gallery scene works as retail? So the actual commercial formats, if it's okay to put it this way, in which your work is on offer.
Well, funnily enough, I've been making a living as an artist mainly through commissions. Over the last however many years, I've only very recently started producing work that actually can be shown in galleries. So much of the work I've previously done, there may be performances, there may be one-off events, So no, I haven't got a great deal of experience how the gallery scene works. Not yet, but I'm about to find out.
So do you think there's other examples of your method whereby people are commissioning parts of a work and it gradually gets formed as part of that?
Okay, yeah, this particular work is not a commercial model. I mean, I'd be, I'd be in a dire place, if I tried to make a living like that. This is about inclusion, the pricing is about inclusion, let's take a £2.50 size commission. I'll spend almost an hour, printing, posting, and packaging it. That doesn't even include the materials. So no, this is not a business model. This is about inclusion, about giving as many people as possible access to a piece of art that already has an exhibition history and that will go to other places across the country. So yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a worthwhile cause. I've been listening and not chipping in, and I think it's very good. And I even went over and had a look this morning. I thought it depicted the hustle and bustle very well. I grant I only saw one bit of it. Sorry, I
That's
just
all right,
thought
Chris.
I'd
I think it's good for you to comment, and I'm glad you went and had a look. And I think JD will come back. He's in another room. He's checking out our computers at the moment, but I know he's been a few times now. And we're probably like the other people who've commented that it makes more sense as more of the images are clear. Because when they're on the screen with the backlighting, it's very striking, isn't it? It's a very solid image. You can't really get an idea of it just from the woodcuts and imagining how it's going to be.
Just looking at the plate, no, you can't. No, and it's always guesswork. I mean, those plates, a tremendous amount of work has gone into them. Talking about 300 hours a plate, roughly. I think it's probably more than 1,000 hours of actual carving time that has just gone into the carving. Doesn't account for the printing yet. What I thought that was one experience I had when I stepped back from the first plate after I'd carved it. You do a fairly everyday scene, which is basically a bunch of elderly people at a bus stop waiting for the bus. That's one of the central plates. That's a lunchtime plate, so to speak. And then you step back after 300 hours of carving, and you have 300 hours of carving looking back at you, as well as a daily life scene. And I thought that really, hopefully, does something to the imagery, that sort of elevates it. And it's also a contemplation aid. But then again, I shouldn't talk too much about it. People should go and see it.
Well, sure. And they've got till Saturday.
They have.
Yeah, and I thought it was a well worth exhibition. So if you're in Exeter, go to the Royal Albert Memorial Museum and look at the Any High Street exhibition. Is there anything else you want to say now, Will, or shall I put some music on?
I think we'll come back with some other ideas in a little bit, but I think some music would be an excellent thing.
Okay, because this show is all about the music, so here is a bit of Alice DJ with Better Off Alone.
Mama, hey.
And what's JD
Well, he's testing out his own iPhone.
Yeah,
He'll probably have his own version of this occasion.
I've got the evidence.
Yeah.
You've got the evidence.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen JD since he lost his phone on the roof of his car.
Yeah, he has lost one iPhone, but he's mysteriously managed to get another one as well.
Yeah, because he got a robust case on now, so if it falls off the top of his car,
should be alright.
Yeah.
So JD, listen,
yes?
You can keep your own recording of this as well.
Yes, I can.
Because we may need to back up the soundtrack, you never know.
Okay.
But what I want to ask you is,
yeah.
You seem to be taking it quite seriously, this idea of a studio, a
Yes.
mobile studio, or
Yes.
a temporary studio. You think it could be a permanent thing?
It not necessarily has to be a studio, it could just be a place to go and work.
Right.
So we've had enough of Chris. We send him off, and he can do a program and send it in to us. Then we have a very quiet Thursday morning.
Oh, right.
Right?
Right.
So, or if you need to put things together for a program, you've got a place to do it with very high technical equipment, shall we say.
Right.
Because at the moment, all we've got is this board over here.
Yeah.
and his phone.
And his phone. Yes. He's getting lost in his phone as well now.
This is a third recording of this conversation. So a third recording will work great.
Right.
Okay, so...
Well, I've got the software now to put all three recordings together.
Well,
yeah.
Right.
So...
And we expect this to happen.
Of course.
Okay.
Right.
So, essentially, we're just looking for some spare space somewhere in the middle of Exeter.
I think, you need somewhere where it's easy accessible for that chap over there.
Yes.
That chap there.
Yeah.
And Nick.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's
no, not him.
No, we do it in a corner somewhere.
Yeah.
As a backup.
Yeah, we can sack him.
Yes, we sack the producer. We feel better for that.
Yeah.
I'm bringing the biggest sack next time we go back on air, Chris.
Okay.
On top of your head.
Well, look, I'm going to stop that because I can see this is going to get into a real
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And what's JD?
Well, he's testing out his own iPhone.
Yeah,
He'll probably have his own version of this occasion.
This is the drama show on Phonic FM. You're listening to a collection of bits and pieces from previously. Some of it last week, some of it's from video. You can also find online on YouTube. And meanwhile, Will789GB on Twitter will be at the Tech Exeter breakfast. And I should be back before 9:30 with an update. Maybe some of the update will relate to previously. And I've got Twittering working. WENOTNO. We don't know show. Although this is the drama show, that's the social media that I'm using, and I've tweeted a link to scenarios and tarot cards, an Edinburgh take on what might happen with higher education. Short stories included in it as well. There's different things that might happen, like extreme unbundling and extinction era, which is a climate disaster story, really. And I'm thinking about this because in the drama show, if you've heard it previously, I do have my own fiction versions of things, which include the Fortress University as ruins and a compact disc walk in Exeter or anywhere, really, any city, comparing what has happened with music retail with what might happen for education spaces. And all of my stuff is a bit alarmist. It's really trying to make people think about what might happen through technology and whether the sort of investments that have been going on in more and more student accommodation, for example, are the best thing to be doing. So I've been provocative, I suppose, and I haven't really said much about that today. And I'm thinking those plays or scripts are probably in pause mode because the reality of what's happening with UK higher education is striking enough, and Edinburgh has got a lot of people there who've been thinking about technology and education for a while, so I'm pretty sure they will come up with commentary about what the causes of the situation are and what the options are. So I'm pretty much going to leave it at that, except to say that next week the Tech Exeter breakfast will be happening because it's the first Thursday of the month, and I'll again be going to that. So you will get a pre-recorded show for most of the drama show, and it'll be pretty much the same as this week. Maybe some better explanation of the storyteller's stories will be included. But I'll be thinking about different conferences, some of them happen in the past, some of them happen in the future. For example, the Tech Exeter conference towards the end of last year, the videos are sort of available. I don't think they're yet public for anyone to find them, but they're getting better known. But I'm thinking of working with the conference expected to be in Plymouth, probably around September time, over the summer. Think about video which already exists, which the speakers might develop something slightly different or coming on from what they've already said that would appear at a conference in Plymouth or Devon. Just thinking about it, going out of space a little bit. Although Phonic is now on DAB in the Plymouth area, so we are trying to find ways of connecting with that audience and situation. But the other one is the Times Higher Education conference about digital universities, which was in Exeter, and the next one is going to be in Lancaster in April. So I'm interested what people remember from the conference last year, and also what might be expected from the conference this year. And also hashtags. I will be going to the Lancaster one. I'm not going to the hashtag one, but there is a conference about hashtag higher ed. I'm pretty sure that's the title of it, and also the hashtag. And if you remember, I'm trying to promote musicals as a hashtag, and hashtags sort of fit in with social media and what radio is doing. Certainly around music, but maybe around learning and other things that are going on. So we'll see what happens to that, and I'll get some sort of grasp of where we are between conferences from the Tech Exeter breakfast. But if you've got any other ideas about it, WENOTNO or Will789GB on Twitter, text or MP3 or any sort of comment would be welcome. And meanwhile, going back to the storyteller, Widsith and Deal Theatre, Cartwheels Collective, I think they will be in Devon, let's say in May, certainly over the summer, and if they're not, it doesn't. Well, it does matter. It would be great to see them, but it's just an inspiration. The summertime is appearing more imminent. That's how it seems to work. And I recently got an MP3 from David Sawyer, who you can hear him on the Gilgamesh stories. If you look for Gilgamesh and Cartwheels online, you'll find. I think it's about 6. It's in 6 parts, but there is musical accompaniment, which is David Sawyer, and he sent me this, which is called Climate Change, and it's in a different style, and I'll find out more about this. But I think we could come back to climate as a topic, but do it over the summer, because what seems to happen with the meetings that the university contribute to, the ones in COP. Yeah, COP is the word for it. But there's a delay between when those events happen and when the content is available. So I'm thinking, make the summertime a focus, and then the material will exist before the news event. It's also the case that I think in Brazil they're working on digital storytelling, and those stories will be released, I think it's November. But again, they might be from people who've already told stories in other formats or at other times, and that would be interesting.